Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are doing a quick live stream. Going to make this as quick as possible, really just to get you guys that information. So I figured I would live stream this because I want to talk to you guys about this on a real-time basis. I did just go all in on crypto. I bought a ton of things. I bought NFTs. I bought some Casper. And honestly, the reason for this is because when we look at the overall metrics behind Bitcoin right now, I know a lot of people don't look at the on-chain metrics too much as a solidifying factor, but the fact that Bitcoin, has been extremely dormant in terms of that, off balance from exchanges tells me that there's most likely going to be a supply shock on Bitcoin, and what is going to spark that is the dollar topping. I've been addressing this. I've been talking to you guys about it for a very long time. Today is going to be a very significant day because today is going to be the day where we either see the dollar continue to ride out the highs for the remainder of the week, or we are going to be seeing the dollar fall on its side and basically just collapse. Now, when we look at Bitcoin currently, the market looks pretty good. I mean, honestly, Bitcoin has been holding those highs. On the 24-hour span, we are seeing some altcoins kind of moving a little bit. Nothing too crazy in terms of gains. I mean, besides, Steppen, which it just continues to go. But we are seeing on the 7-day span still some double-digit figures along the boards. So I do like to see some alts gaining momentum here. Like I said, I did buy Casper this morning. Now, was Casper at a perfect buy point? Not really. I just figured I would buy because, hey, we came down and tested a nice sort of level going back as far as roughly our recent low from earlier today. Now, this is the level that I basically bought. If we are going to really breach that level yet again, I will 100% buy. On the 1 month span, we are in a massive downtrend, and the last time that we were in a massive downtrend like this, look at what ended up happening. We went to roughly almost like 12 cents. So I'm waiting to see if this downtrend is going to push us higher to like roughly 15 plus cents, but we have to really kind of wait to see that actually happen. Now, today, the indices weren't too bad. They were actually pretty stable because, of course, we are still seeing the dollar kind of, just ranging around a nice topping point. The day that the dollar really kind of flips on its side and drops, that's where we will see these indices start to go crazy. I've been addressing this, I've been talking to you guys about it, but when we look at the Dow Jones and even the S&P 500, I'm actually going to open these two up on a separate tab, and I'm going to show you guys their charts. These are actually pretty bullish in regards to the monthly time frames, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So here you have the monthly time frame where we obviously see the support on the Dow Jones being at around the 786 level. Now, yesterday I did tell you guys that we will most likely see a retest of this level at about roughly 33K. It looks like we are ranging to have that, which tells me that we might just see the dollar kind of sit stable for the remainder of this week, and then possibly next week could be the pivotal moment. But we are still awaiting the dollar collapsing. I know that it's going to take time. Like a lot of people think, excuse me, a lot of people think that this is going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. The dollar will take time to actually fall and collapse. I mean, it is a reserve currency at the end of the day. But look at the Dow Jones on the monthly, and look at where we currently are sitting at massive support while everyone is getting very bearish. It makes no sense. In terms of the volume and also even like the RSI on a lot of these, they still look very strong. Volume right now is bearish on the Dow, but I see this picking up, especially as we do kind of march into around the May timeframe. S&P 500, also very similar chart. This is from a different video. I do apologize. But when we look at, again, the monthly chart for this, you could see where we are bouncing off of. There's no real major support. I mean, unless we do test like the 702. But that major support actually is the 20-day EMA at almost 4,100. And it looks like we are ranging just around that, zone, having that nice support bounce, getting ready for the next major move here. I've been talking to you guys about this. The structure, the integrity of a lot of these charts look very, very strong. Okay? So, Guys, I just woke up. I do apologize. When we look at the overall charts, they do look pretty good. I would say when we look at a lot of these videos or a lot of these charts in my videos, they look like they're playing out perfectly in terms of the patterns. We look at the support zones on a lot of these. We are seeing those clear tests on the charts. I would say the integrity of even the Bitcoin price chart on, again, the monthly time frame. So everyone's always zooming in on like the daily, or maybe they're zooming in on like the hourly or so. But guys, I want you to all understand that when we look at the overall charts for these and we look at the support zones, it is clear to me where we are sitting. We are sitting at a higher low since back in January, and technically you could go back as far as June on the macro view here, but we have been putting in higher lows since January, and there is no major level broken here at all. Again, this is why I say when you look at the overall chart, for example, RSI, we can throw on the volume as well, and we can really kind of address this. So, again, the volume here is a little bit diminished. Again, a lot of Bitcoin has not moved at all in terms of HODL supply. The RSI looks pretty rough here on the monthly, but similar to the time frame, going back as far as the March of 2020 lows, we are nearing that same exact RSI point on the monthly, which tells me that we might have a little bit more downside here. Like I said, we could most likely test roughly 37K, which will push the RSI down to those levels, and then we will see that major impulse to some possibly new all-time highs. Now, like I said, the major determining factor will be the dollar. The dollar is the crucial, right now I would say that this is probably the most crucial chart in crypto. Because if this does not top out, we are going to be seeing a major money flow from, again, stocks, crypto, and we're going to be seeing individuals holding dollars, similar to the March of 2020 timeframe. But when we look at, again, this current chart, I would say that we are at resistance. We had a slight wick above this level. I told you guys we could possibly see a test of 104, which would be the almost high from January 2017, before we went on that massive run during 2018. I don't need to remind you guys exactly what happened during this time. But if we have a same repetitive pattern here where we do top out around roughly the current level that we're at, or around like 104 to even 106, because I said that we could test as high as 106, which would be roughly around like this range back here, going back as far as like 1999, or actually a little bit higher, sorry. It's still like around like the 99 area. But I've been addressing these levels on the dollar for a while to see if we are going to top out at some point in time here. A lot of people say, look at the dollar. It looks like it's in a massive cup and handle, and it does look like it could possibly be, forming a cup and handle formation, where we most likely will see, a little bit more of an impulsive move here after we come down and retest a little bit of a low, which would most likely be the 786, followed by that nice impulsive move to possibly the 106 area. But around this range, I do believe our topping point is in. I would say we should all be looking for a rejection at around this range here. We should be seeing a dropping point here. This is exactly why I basically bought a ton of crypto. This is why I bought, NFTs. It's because of, again, the dollar. Everyone right now within this market, right? There's a ton of individuals capitulating. There's a ton of people selling right now, thinking that it's going to go much lower. I don't believe that we go much lower from here. I think that when we look at, this chart and we look at things happening right now in crypto, we look fairly good in terms of the strength on a lot of the charts in terms of the monthly candles. Like, you got to look at the macro view here, because on the macro view, nothing has really changed at all. It's just emotional individuals right now calling for a bear market because, of course, we dropped a little bit. I mean, technically, if you go off of the price range going back as far as like March and you come down, like we only dropped roughly 22% on Bitcoin. And I know that that seems like a lot for individuals, but Recently, even during the summer, which by the way, the summer was very rough. I remember a lot of individuals were terrified. If you hodled through the summer, you made profit. It's because this came down 55.75%. And then what followed up was actually a significant, pump, which was roughly 100 and almost 40%. Now, on our recent lows from the all-time high that we came down and tested was a 52% move. And now we're just ranging here. While everyone still thinks that we're in a bear market, we already had our corrective zone. I think that when we are ranging here, making these, higher highs, or higher lows, sorry, and higher highs from, again, this rough point of like January, I still see Bitcoin going and having a bull run this year. And I also do believe that altcoins are going to look very, very strong, especially as we do kind of move into, again, the bull run. If we look at the dollar is going to be the factor that tells us that we are at a bottoming point or at, a topping point. And I've said this again, even comparing it to the March of 2020 lows. We hit this. This was the bottoming, factor. And then we hit this nice little bottom point here, and we didn't really gain a lot of momentum until around like the May timeframe, which was the topping point for crypto. It was actually around like April, May during this time. And then we seen the dollar go on that rally, which is currently in a massive rally. So we are waiting to see the dollar correct. Once this does happen, crypto is going to look very, very good, and so is stocks. So watch crypto and stocks once this does correct. Now, in terms of altcoins, yes, I have been watching a lot of altcoins lately because, again, in terms of the macro view, here you have the total 2. We are ranging on support at around the 382. We retested the 382 before. In fact, we retested the 382 in September before we went on a nice rally. So we are still at a fairly good level here. I think that altcoins are definitely going to shine as we do move on into the later months of course, 2022. I've always had my topping points at around like roughly the fall time frame. And if we look at Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does go on that same repetitive, sort of tear from, 2020 to now, then we would be looking at around roughly 100K plus for Bitcoin. Now, in terms of Bitcoin dominance, I'm still watching Bitcoin dominance. I want this to gain some momentum and strength. I actually want Bitcoin dominance to continue to trade sideways here and possibly have that nice spike when it does break out, followed by that massive drop in, again, percentage. Because once this does happen, that's when altcoins will go crazy. And in terms of altcoins, on the macro view here, so I have a few XRP, Hbar, XLM, and even QNT open. Look at where we currently are, making higher lows while everyone's calling for, more, lower prices, saying 30 cents for XRP, it's going to 50 cents. We could be seeing this. Honestly, I foresee XRP sitting at around like 61 cents to possibly even having a little bit of a higher price point just to make a higher low. But ever since January, we are still in a higher low, sort of situation. Again, the key level here is 92 cents for XRP to break out, to have that nice little breakout point to retest $1.42. Once we do see that, then, it's time to get excited. On Hbar, for those Hbar Barians out there that are watching the VOD, or maybe you're watching the live stream right now, when we look at the current structure of this chart, it looks like we will most likely be seeing a retest of possibly 15 cents. If we do see that retest of 15 cents, I do think that that is a strong buy point. I do believe that in terms of selling, I think that selling is getting exhausted in this market for some of these altcoins. If we do see, again, Bitcoin continue to have that nice impulsive move, we might see altcoins get pushed down a little bit more. We will have to watch this to really kind of see this, but it's most likely going to test those June lows if we do break down 15 cents. So watch for like 13.5 cents to possibly the support zone from the monthly candle from March, which would be at around 11.5 cents. XLM, very similar chart to XRP, except here we are testing we're most likely going to be testing the lows of about 16.5 cents. If this does break, XLM will be retesting around roughly 12.5 cents. I'm a full-on buyer at around this point, just so that you guys know. QNT on the monthly is very similar as well. We can come down and most likely test these February and January lows of roughly about $96. So a lot of these altcoins are in a very similar, situation where they're most likely going to be testing a support zone, or they are already at around the support zone, or they are making higher lows. It's just how you are looking at the overall chart in terms of their Bitcoin price charts. Like for an example, XRP's Bitcoin price chart hasn't been too bad in terms of weakness going back as far as like 2021. Right now we're just kind of ranging here sideways until we do have that breakout event. Now, a very similar overall chart here on the monthly. I want you guys to, pay attention to things that have happened in the past, going back to 2014. So here's the all-time highs for the 2013-2014 bull run. This followed with a massive downtrend until the 2017-2018 bull run. We are in that massive downtrend right now, waiting for that breakout event on the Bitcoin price chart. The Bitcoin price chart for a lot of these altcoins will tell you if your altcoin is going to go parabolic or not. So I figured I would just give you guys that quick update real quick just to show you guys that we need to be watching the dollar right now. I would say the only reason why I bought crypto today, the only reason why I went all in is because I do believe that the US dollar is at around its topping point. So pay attention to the dollar. I will continue to break down the dollar as we do kind of, see this move throughout the week. RSI is at it's actually over 70 right now into an overbought zone. Could this go higher? Yes, we've seen it go higher before. Of course, it did lead to a breakdown. But RSI weakening is going to be the key factor to watch for in terms of the US dollar's weakness. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this live stream. I hope that you guys enjoyed the VOD if you guys did watch. I didn't want to go too in-depth into the chat, just wanted to make this a quick one. So with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for watching. If you guys did enjoy it, definitely hit that like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.